I didn't think I was gonna make a video like this, nor put the title up the way I had it, but this has been a problem for me, and this by far is not a problem on the games. Like, if you think that you're gonna go into a game like this and expect everything to be happy all the time, then like that's kind of on you. And I expected to be shocked, honestly, when it comes to these type of games. But at the very same time, it still kind of hits me in a weird place, right? So when it comes down to things, this ain't like a new thing that's I've been feeling. I've been feeling like this for like a while now. And again, this is more of a me thing than it is the game. But I'm not gonna lie. Anytime I feel like I'm dealing with like anything Danganronpa related when it comes to the death of the characters or their execution, or hell, even when it comes to RainCode, because I was able to get RainCode because our latest Patreon member, K Zesty. But when it comes down to things, I decided to go play it, and the first damn thing we see is a bunch of characters getting killed the hell off. Right? Like, that was like the crazy thing when it comes down to it. And then it hits me with that same feeling I felt all those years ago when I first got into Danganronpa, when I saw Kaede's death for the first time. And I felt off about things, right? I kind of felt off about the concept of death. Even when it comes to like, obviously real life, like yes, death sucks and that should be like something that would be kind of messed up for anybody to think about. But even when it comes to like characters and storytelling, it still kind of throws me off a little bit. Now, I guess there's a few reasons for this, and I guess again, more is mainly on me, but I guess the reasons for it is that one, in a storytelling way, you're kind of just making characters to be expendable in some shape and form, right? Because I'll go ahead and spoil the first parts of the game when it comes to RainCode, for at least that I just finished beating, was that the group of people that you see on the train that you get to see and deal with, all of them die. Every last one of them. Even the whole culprit of the case, they end up dying. And that was just like a what? Because honestly, you made these character designs. You did all this work to get these good character designs for the characters that's in the beginning part of the game, just so they can die and then not be used. That kind of feels weird, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Danganronpa has no problem, and even when it comes to RainCode, it has no problem killing off characters, and that's something that just the game, that's what they do, right? But still, nonetheless, it kind of, again, hits me in a weird ass way. Like, the game is, in a weird way, I guess, takes death lightly. And I guess that's what bothers me about it, is that it takes death lightly as a concept. Because majority of the time we see death in a lot of other medias and shows and stuff, it ends up becoming like, you know, a shocking moment or a big payoff to a character, you know, doing something, maybe sacrificing themselves, and that's fireworks outside. But when it comes down to things, oh my gosh, they so annoying. You can't even see shit outside. Why are you popping fireworks off? It's light as freak out there. But anyway, when it comes down to things, I think the reason why it bothers me so much is, again, you're supposed to have characters die when it means something. At least that's what it feels like to me. But when it comes to Danganronpa, anybody is expendable. You want to see Kaede dead? She's dead. You want to see, like, I don't know, like a random character that you really cared for die? They will die. And that kind of blows, because I was like, damn, I would like to have known more about the character. And that's kind of the shitty thing about Danganronpa in a weird way. It's just that anytime you get an attachment to a character, guess what? Most likely that character is going to die, and there's nothing you can do about that. What, you want to see more of Mikon and try to understand her more? Well, too bad. She's dead. You don't get the chance to explore that. Or, hell, even with Poochie in RainCode, you want to learn more about her? Guess what? She's dead with the other cast of characters. And it's just like, why? Like, of all the characters, I wanted her to live. I was thinking that she was going to be a fun character to learn about, but she has nothing. All you learn that she has a cool ass ability to know when life forms is around her by hearing things, and then that's it. She's dead. There's no use to her anymore. That's it. And it's just like, but what was the point of giving them so much shit? Like, at the same time, it's just like, I get that it's kind of shocking, and it is shocking, but it's like, come on with it though. And then, like I said before, it just feels like the deaths of the characters just feel like it's so expendable. Like life doesn't matter. right? And it just kind of gets to me in a little weird of a way, especially with RainCode and how that is. Especially when you got to go through the whole mystery labyrinth, which is that whole place that looks very weird that you got to walk through and shit with Shinigami. And the whole thing when it comes to that is that, while you are solving this case with a whole bunch of crazy ass things kind of popping off at the moment, like you gotta solve this case, look around through this investigation, then go into the mystery labyrinth where Shinigami do a lot of weird but sexy shit and say a lot of horny ass things, which I will clap Shinigami in the fastest of eyes. But when it comes down to things, it's like you're doing all these mini games, all this stuff, playing like this persona ass game in a sort of way, but then at the end of the day it's still, kind of like it's silly, but it's also still serious at the same time. And it's just like, I don't know how to feel about that, I guess. Well, I guess what I'm trying to come down to when it comes to this video is just that I feel like the concept of death, at least to me, shouldn't be used lightly, right? It's the reason why I don't necessarily kill off characters in my damn series that I've been writing, because I just feel like it should be used for a right time, right? Each character is valuable. Obviously, they're characters at the end of the day, they're fictional, so you can kill them off or you can just keep them alive, it doesn't necessarily matter. But I feel like if you're gonna cause death to happen, there should be a solid reason for it. And I guess there's like another reason that kind of bothers me with it too. It's just the fact that every single time you look at these characters that you possibly dealing with Danganronpa, or even when RainCode, on how many other things that's gonna happen in that game, I think the other thing that kind of bothers me is just the fact that you really get to see how evil people can be. Because I'm thinking the main culprit was gonna be like this decent ass dude. I'm like, oh, he cares about us in some shape or form. That's alright. But no, he was the one that ends up killing everybody, and it's the reason why things go down in the first place. And it's just like, I'm sorry. So I feel a bit weird about that, and it's just like, damn, you really can't trust nobody out these streets. Obviously, that's a big given. Honestly, you really shouldn't trust anybody. But at the same time, it's just like, well, dang, I thought he was gonna be cool. I thought we were gonna see more of these characters, but I guess not. And that's essentially it. So when it comes down to things, again, the concept of death to me should have value, I would say. And just seeing how messed up some of these things can be when it comes to Dangan or RainCode or anything else when it comes down to things, just throwing down characters because they're just pieces that you can just throw down, it just feels a bit off, right? Even with Black Butler, I'll even throw this out because we're getting a new anime, let's go. But when it comes down to things, even with Black Butler, I'm like, even though CL throw people down and throw them away and whatever, I feel like that's fine, because at that point, every person has their own meaning to do something. You get to see why they mean so much and all that type of stuff. But Dangan don't do that, and I feel weird about it. So when it comes down to everything, I guess I just don't like the concept of death when people get no meaning out of it, when characters don't necessarily have any type of, I guess, reason for things to happen. And even if there was given to it after the fact, it would be kind of pointless because they're dead. You can't necessarily bring them back, right? Like, I still love the characters. I still love the, what the fans do with the characters in some shape and form. And I still like their personalities and their characters and their design and art style. I just don't like the fact that they just die just because they die, right? That's what I kind of feel like. Or it's for an evil reason, or something of the sort. I just never liked that. And I guess that's the reason why, honestly, it took me so long to watch Danganronpa 2, like, when I first started getting into Dangan, honestly. Because I watched 3, I watched 1, but it took me some months before I started to watch Danganronpa 2, because I just didn't want to see any more executions, or any more character deaths, honestly, because it bothered me. So, I guess that's basically all I had to say for this one. Again, it's probably the weirdest thing, and as a person that likes Danganronpa, but not liking the deaths, it feels a bit weird. Granted, you see death all the time in different games where stuff happens, like Mortal Kombat and a lot of animes where the villain character has to die for the hero to succeed. It just, for this game, for some reason, it just feels off. It just feels a bit weird, right? Again, I love the characters. The characters look dope as shit, but for some reason, I just don't necessarily understand how I can just sit down and be like, yeah, this is fine. For some reason, I just can't, and that's just me, right? I don't know if anybody else feel that way or at anything at all like that, but that's just how I feel. But anyway, that's essentially all I have for you today. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.